Xaise, Abugari, Xaise Gore. Miremadisa. Welcome everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody joining us and wherever you are joining us from. Thank you for tuning in today. My name is Sabecha. I'm a Khoisan girl or Bushman girl from South Africa or Southern Africa. But my lineage is predominantly direct lineage. Family is Namibia and South Africa. There is extended family, of course, in Botswana. There's family in Zambia. There's family in Zimbabwe, and in Angola as well. We are the largest African group in Southern Africa. We are the largest a nation of people with a whole lot of tribes. We span, like I said, 6 countries. And we are the oldest in the genome, in the genealogy. Bushmen are the oldest. The Khoisan, specifically from Southern Africa, is the oldest. In New Zealand, there are Aboriginal stories of them coming from Africa, Southern Africa. So we have traveled all over the world. You get Bushmen, as a matter of fact, not just in Southern Africa. We are just the biggest tribe in Southern Africa. But you get Bushmen in all over Africa, in the Gambia, in Rwanda, in Ethiopia, everywhere. Nigeria, you get Bushmen everywhere in Africa. But I'm specifically talking about the South African Bushmen and what has been happening here in Southern Africa to us. And the xenophobic attacks that's been happening here in South Africa is mirroring what we as Bushmen have been experiencing for hundreds of years, and specifically now, not for hundreds of years, for 100 years, and specifically now the xenophobic attacks. Now that other Africans are coming to South Africa or Southern Africa, but specifically South Africa, the xenophobic attacks has highlighted their racism towards African nationals. It's not just Africans from Ethiopia, Somalia, or Morocco, or Eritrea, or Nigeria, or the DRC, no, the Africans here in South Africa, the Bantu speakers specifically, are deeply racist towards other Africans, including the Bushmen, who are the Aboriginal people of South Africa, African people, Aboriginal people. And so the xenophobic attacks, I was on a podcast with a lady, Blacksit, over the weekend. Please go check out her channel. She interviewed me about the xenophobic attacks that's been happening in South Africa and my take on it as an Aboriginal Bushman. And she was quite surprised to hear that even we experience xenophobia in our own country, on our ancestral lands. We experience xenophobia. Right now in Southern Africa, Bushmen are not recognized as indigenous people. As a matter of fact, in South Africa and in Namibia, Aboriginal Bushmen, the San, are called colored, a derogatory term used, a slur used by colonialists to degrade Aboriginal people, Bushmen. And post-apartheid, the Bantu-speaking ANC and all the Bantu speakers, for a matter of fact, agreed that they would not let go of the colored identity of the Bushmen. There was 2 derogatory slurs that was in South Africa, Southern Africa, for the Bushmen. They called us colored. For the Bantu speakers, they were called the K-word, Kafirs. The word Kafir was completely removed, of course. It is a derogatory term. It is a slur used to degrade African people. So when apartheid was over, the Bantu-speaking ANC government that is now causing these xenophobic attacks, them and their Bantu-speaking people, chose to keep Bushmen colored. And we have been fighting for 30 years. There are Bushmen, Aboriginal elders, chiefs sleeping at Parliament for the last 7 years, camping in front of Parliament so that they can drop this colored identity and recognize Bushmen as Aboriginal Africans. It is not just Africans it's just the xenophobia. In a way, it has almost brought forth the true nature of the Bantu speakers here in South Africa and what is happening in Southern Africa. And it is disturbing to live in South Africa and be an Aboriginal Bushman and see other Africans oppressing me as an Aboriginal and my people, and then oppressing other Africans as well. The Cape of Good Hope Aboriginal land, where we are now, we are in Constantia. This is my Aboriginal lands in Southern Africa. My people, our entire tribe was put off this mountain in Constantia in 1964 because of the apartheid laws. All Aboriginal people lost their lands. All Aboriginal people. And this is my ancestral lands. We are standing here now. And wherever you go in Aboriginal lands, there are no xenophobic attacks. Wherever you go into colored areas, there are no xenophobic attacks. As a matter of fact, Cape Town is known as the Cape of Good Hope. This Cape Town is known as the Cape of Good Hope because Bushmen, Aboriginal people, you people that call us colored now, we have always welcomed people here. If you go to the archives and you go and look up how many ships pass through Southern Africa, South Africa, we are a hospitable nation, Bushmen. This year is not African. This year is not Southern African. This does not form part of Southern African entomology or cosmology, these xenophobic attacks. For the longest time, we have been saying that we have been facing discrimination as Aboriginal Africans by the Bantu speakers who are right now murder. They have gone as far as murder and disappearance. Destruction of African goods, the attack of African people on African land. I'm not in Europe. We are not in Europe. I'm not in Asia. I'm not in the Americas. Neither am I in the East. I'm in Africa. And so who are these Bantu speakers Really? Who are they? Because I have never heard of xenophobic attacks anywhere on the continent. I've never heard of xenophobic attacks anywhere on the continent, at least not to this extent. Yes, there are tribal fighting, but attacking other Africans from the visitors, our brothers and sisters. Bantu speakers have always encroached, overstepped boundaries. I am Aboriginal. The word Xhosa is a word that comes from my Aboriginal language. The meaning of the word is angry men. My ancestors named you angry men, Bantu speakers. Then we give you land in Transkei. Now I'm talking now, way before colonialism. We give you land in Transkei and you decide to cross the river when the white people come here, when the colonialists come. Where did you get the guns from? Where did you get the ammunition from? This is racism. Racism towards Africans. Aboriginal people, Africans from, I did not know that it took the xenophobic attacks to make me realize that these Bantu speakers, they do not like Africans. They do not like Africans. And so now who are you? If you are not part of our entomology or our cosmology in the sense of Ubuntu, Kai Gangans, I must say, if you are not part of that, then who are you? Who is controlling you? Why was the colored racial slur put on the Aboriginal people, Bushman people? Son, the oldest in the genealogy of humanity in Africa. It's despicable. It is disgusting. Your behavior is disgusting. Disgusting you are. To say that you are African, I've traveled Africa. I love my people. I love my people. Africans. And if I say I'm Bushman, anywhere I go, they immediately understand who and what I am. They will take me to other Bushmen because they understand that we are for the land and for the people. And we are probably going to share some knowledge and herbs. You have forced us into a space and place that colonialists forced us in, that our oppressors forced us in. And you want to make excuses? Yesterday I went to a pharmacy. It's called Dischem. It's one of the biggest pharmacies in South Africa. As a matter of fact, in Southern Africa, because they're also in Namibia, in Canal Walk. And there was a Bantu-speaking pharmacist, and something was going wrong with the PC technology. She couldn't find my information. And I said, technology. And then she proceeds to say to me, not technology, it's all these foreigners that are coming in and they don't know what. I said to her, excuse me, ma'am, that makes you a foreigner too. I am Bushman. This is Aboriginal Bushman land. You migrated here. And we gave you land. We didn't just welcome you. We gave you so much. We gave you Transkei. We gave you Transkei. Aboriginal people are probably the kindest people you'll meet in the world. Right now, you can go to Bellville. It is a neighborhood in Cape Town. Completely Somalian, completely Ethiopian. Malawi, even the doctors there. My family member is a doctor there in Tygerberg Hospital. And she says, well, we have to adapt. We have to learn their culture because they are here and we have to serve them. And you Bantu speakers come into the hospitals and drag out the patients and go into the schools and traumatize our children. Despicable behaviors, these xenophobic attacks by the Bantu speakers, and it is only the Bantu speakers. I want to make this very clear. Because the Bantu speakers do this to South African Aboriginals as well. To the Bushmen as well. As a matter of fact, they call us vermin. They call us backwards. Because we are for the land, because we are for the herbs, because we are for the medicine, because we are for the African spirituality. Who are you then, if you are not for African spirituality? This is a deep-seated, rooted infection. And it's right at our root in Southern Africa. We are the root. When South Africa was liberated, we expected us to become the example for other Africans and welcome them and show them how it is done as Africans, because we fought for our liberation. And then Bantu speakers come and they make deals with these colonialists. Do you know today in Southern Africa, no Aboriginal people, no Bushmen can claim their Aboriginal land? People ask me all the time, why can't Bantu speakers just take the land? Why can't the government just take the land? They can't take the land because the land does not belong to Bantu speakers. The land belongs to Bushmen, colored, Aboriginal people. The land that I'm standing on now is in dispute, Constantia. They cannot just take land, but they've been put in control to control the African. And that is the truth. These Bantu speakers have been put in control to control the rest of the Africans that are here. Point blank. You have been put in place here to keep the white man happy, to keep our oppressors happy. Do you know Cyril Ramaphosa, the current president of South Africa, sold his comrades out and went to the whites and told them that he was brainwashed. The rest of, I can't get to the names now of the fighters, the freedom fighters, his comrades went to Pollsmoor. They outed him in Parliament about his deception and his betrayal. Is this what you are, Bantu speaker? You betray us? You betray your brothers? You betray your sisters? For white men? No, surely not. We can claim Aboriginal land. This is Bushman land, no doubt. And our rock art, which is not yours, you have no claim to our rock art. Our rock art gives us legitimacy. Even now on the chat, as we are talking, there are Bantu speakers in the comment section harassing us and telling us that we are some type of other. Because that is the box that I must tick as an Aboriginal people, other. As an African, not just Aboriginal, Aboriginal African. First Nation Africa. I must tick other. These Bantus make me tick other. These Bantus murder my brothers and sisters coming in from Ethiopia and Somalia and Uganda and Burundi and Uganda. Right now, there's a piece of land that Aboriginal people, Bushmen, Coloureds have taken in Cape Town, a piece of mountain, that they have included other Africans to come and stay with us because they cannot put us off our land in South Africa. If we claim a piece of land and we say, and they know we are Aboriginal, they cannot put us off the land. So what are the young Aboriginal Coloureds doing now? They are taking the land and they are inviting other Africans, not Bantu speakers so much. They don't want to be with us, but Africans. And they are living on this mountain. There's 300 of them right now. That is what Aboriginal means. That is what it means to be an African. That is what it means to be a Bushman. We are welcoming Cape of Good Hope. Who do you think they named it after, Cape of Good Hope? They named it after the people that were here because we helped. And we love and we support and we heal and we teach and we share. Cape of Good Hope after the Aboriginal people. Son of Ham, yes. Ons is Ham. We are Ham. We are son of Ham. These religious books, these are books written by Aboriginal people. It is our history. It is our story. My lineage, my name, even today they still call me Ham. Do you know they still call me Ham? Ham. But they say it in a language that my people invented, Afrikaans, meaning Ham. I'm still called Ham. Absolute at Sun, at Sion, 11112. Absolutely. And people don't know who we are and the knowledge and the power that we carry. Being the children of Ham, having our rock art, having our connection with this planet and earth. And they want to make Aboriginal people feel as though we don't belong here. Excuse me. We belong here. This is our world. This is our world. Do you know that Jacob Zuma was on the Epstein Islands? Jacob Zuma is a Bantu-speaking South African ex-president, was on Epstein Island. Do you know how many Aboriginal children go missing in South Africa and in Namibia, in Southern Africa? Do you know how many of our children get sold and stolen and we just don't know what happened to our children? Because Jacob Zuma, a Bantu-speaking president of South Africa, is on Epstein Islands. Cyril Ramaphosa is in bed with Anglo-America. He comes from that world. He sold out his comrades. He was outed in parliament. Who are you, Bantu speakers? Why do you hate Africans? Do you have a deal with them? Because it feels like you have a deal with them. It feels like you have a deal with the colonizers to keep Africans enslaved, because we know more than 80% of the world's resources comes from Southern Africa. Now I'm talking produce, minerals, water. 80% comes from Southern Africa. And it's being shipped to Europe, to the colonizers. Why? Why is it still being shipped there? And you've been in power for 30 years. Ibrahim Traoré took over, and within 5 years, I don't know how long he is, he changed the entire country, and they don't have an eighth of the resources that we have here in South Africa. Bantu speakers? Who are you working for? What deals did you make? You were supposed to let go of your racism towards Africans and let go of the colored identity of the Aboriginal people. But your racism towards Africans is so that you cannot find it in your heart to see us within you. That is why the xenophobic attacks. You don't see us as part of your people or your tribe or your nation or whatever you call yourself, Bantu speakers in South Africa. That is why you can murder other Africans. That is why you can steal from other Africans. That is why you can destroy other Africans' livelihoods and think nothing of it. Because you don't identify as an African. You have, the world is speaking about the xenophobic attacks in South Africa. They are, all I hear is South Africa xenophobic attack. No. You are a disgrace. A disgrace. Your xenophobic behaviors are a disgrace. You are a disgrace. It is not all South Africans. It is not all South Africans. It is a specific group, the Bantu-speaking group, and they are racist and xenophobic towards all Africans, including the Aboriginal people of South Africa, of Southern Africa. Still keeping the white man in power. Still keeping the black man off the land. Devils. You work for the devils. We can all see it. The world can see it. You are no good than your current president, Cyril Ramaphosa, who betrayed his comrades at a time of need just so that he could run to America and his comrades had to go sit in prison on Paulsmoor. You are no better than that. Is that who you are? The xenophobic attacks in South Africa have put a mark on us as South Africans as a whole. We look like fools. We look like we are crazy. In a place called Mitchell's Plain, it is on social media, so you can go and view the video. Bantu speakers try to come into an area called Mitchell's Plain. This is Bushman area or Aboriginal area or colored area, as we are now known by the racial slur that the Bantu speakers still enforce upon us. Bantu speakers came into the area on a Friday when Muslim Africans were praying, wanting to, on their loudspeakers, making noise through the what is that loudspeaker? I don't even know what the thing is called. Disturbing their prayer. And colored people, Aboriginal people, Bushman people chased them out and said, no way are you doing this. Not where we are. You are not going to be racist and xenophobic on our lands. You can go into any, as a matter of fact, I'm going to interview a African national from up in the north who have shops in our areas, who trade in our areas, and you can hear from them. We do not kill Africans. And maybe that's a good thing. The Bushmen don't kill Africans. We are people of peace. We are people of love. We are Ubuntu. This is who South Africa is. This is who Southern Africa is. Cape of Good Hope. Where you come and we feed you. There's another YouTuber. He's coming to South Africa. I'm going to meet him soon. Please go check out his channel as well. His name is Cooper. What is his name? His surname is Cooper. I'll put it in the comment section. He travels all around South Africa. He's now going with me to Namibia. Oh, I'm going to meet him in Namibia because he wants to meet all colored people, Aboriginal people. And he says the most welcoming, he's an American. He's a Black American. He says in his videos, he's traveled all over the world. He says the most welcoming he has ever felt was to be amongst colored people in South Africa. This is what South Africa is. This is who we are. That is South Africa, not these Bantu speakers who also migrated here, who are not, yes, native African, yes, African, of course, but who also migrated here from West Africa. As a matter of fact, the thing that is so ironic is that the Bantu speakers, their history goes, they migrated here from West Africa and Central Africa. So that means they are attacking their actual family. They say they come from them. Huh? You're attacking your family. At first, I thought it was just Bushmen they didn't like. At first, I thought it was just us they didn't like. Because Bushmen have always had everywhere we are in the world. Because we are who we are. Come to find out that no, you just hate Africans point blank. You are just racist against all Africans. Not against all blacks. I want to make this clear. A black American can come here. You give them land. Yes. A European can come here. You give them land. An Asian can come here. You welcome them. There's no tax. Oh gosh, they get the best treatment. But as soon as an African comes here, you're racist. As soon as an African steps foot where you are, you attack. What are you? Are you then not African? Because I've heard that spice route was not really a spice route. I heard that spice route was actually human trafficking going on. I heard they were actually cargoing humans and not spice. And it makes sense because everywhere spice. In Africa we have spice. Gosh, some Indians get this spice from Africa. America has spice. The Mexicans have spice. They weren't transporting spice. That wasn't a spice route. That was a human cargo route. You were trafficking humans. You were placing humans in strategic positions. The colonizers. So where did you come from? Because we also know that in the 1700s, more than 6,000 slaves came into the Cape of Good Hope via the VOC. Africans or black people came into the VOC. Where they came from, we don't know. We are told they came from somewhere in Africa. But these people lie. They were trafficking humans, not spice. You can go, Andile, my dear, you can go to the archives right now at the museum in Cape Town. As a matter of fact, there's a boy called Wadamaya. He was here. They showed him the records. If you don't want to go to the archives or you're not in Cape Town, go watch Wadamaya where he shows the records of the slave ships that came in and who bought them with their surnames attached. At Sion. This is more than, Bushman, this is, if you go to our entomology, our history, who we are as a people, we've always had great mothers who led us. Our men were like you, defending us, making sure we are safe. But it was the mothers who spoke, who made the laws. And everywhere in Africa, as a matter of fact, this is the case, except for these Bantu speakers, where there's still this colonialist, imperialist, hierarchy, crazy male nonsense. No, we complement one another. You are here. Are you not here? I see you here at Sion. You are the voice. We are the voices of the people. Me and you. Alas, the xenophobic attacks, despicable behavior, vile, cruel, colonialist, imperialist, racism. It's racism. I experience it by the Bantus. Racism. My people experience it's racism. And nobody believed us before when we said these Bantus are racist. Nobody believed us. Now they can see, they call it xenophobia. But these Bantus are racist and I don't know where they came from. I don't think they are African. We know Ireland was full of Manotu. The funny thing is, I, as Aboriginal, know so much about Bantus because I was here when you came here. We were here. We know. We gave you a name. Zulu came. Go find out. Go read up when the was first used. There was no Zulus. It's a made-up name. He's got no lineage after him. He's got no lineage. For example, I can trace my lineage back 8 generations on this land. You can't trace Shaka Zulu's lineage back 2 generations. Try. And he dies, and his brother dies, leaving no children behind. The man is a myth. The man is a myth. Yet I, as Aboriginal, I can prove my lineage. 8, 9, 10 generations. As a matter of fact, I'm standing on my Aboriginal lands. I'm standing in front of the cemetery. Here stands Constantia, established 1883. And on the paperwork is my family name that we bought this piece of land because colonialists we found were even building their homes on our dead bodies. They didn't care. So what did the Aboriginal do? They started collecting money because we didn't have money. We didn't need money. But we collected money, a few families. There was 100 families in Constantia that bought the land to secure our ancestral bones. Because we see what the Bantus do with our bones too. We saw what happened when our bones came home from Scotland. Our Aboriginal bones. In boxes. They brought them in. Buried them in shallow graves. Daai Robbie's Mackenzie. Wat is hy van? Ja, Mackenzie, ne? We are photo op for them. I go to my people, the Bushmen in Botswana and in Namibia, those who are in the desert, and then they tell me they get uprooted, lodges gets built there because the Bantus make way for the white people to come and live in the desert and experience the Bantu life. They uproot entire villages. And then for our people, which means they also take our water source because we have water sources and they come and build on our water sources. Bantu speakers, government come and build on, give rights to white colonialists to come and build on our water sources and uproot our entire villages. Today, they are here to protect the white man. That is why they are here. We can all see it. And using to give homes to the Israelis here. You know, this land where we're sitting here, this place, Constantia, our people were still living here. And news came that the land was for sale in London by Pam Golding, a Jewish company. While we were still on our land, we tried. They literally forced us out with threats. They said they would bring bulldozers. They told my grandfather they would bring bulldozers. My grandfather, his brother, his sister, his mother, their wives, their extended bushmen. We live in a kraal. 10 families displaced, just my family. And this is what, they keep doing it. And now the Bantu speakers allow, and nobody says anything because nobody knows. They think South Africa is a democracy and South Africa is free and there's no more apartheid. Meanwhile, these Bantu speakers are killing Africans and oppressing Africans. The only thing we can do is take back at Sion. Earlier I was speaking about, you asking what do you suggest we do? We take back. You take back your language. You take back your name. World, listen to this. Africans, listen to this. It was only in 2026, this year, in May, in the month of March, that Aboriginal Africans were allowed to register their Aboriginal names. We were not allowed to have Aboriginal names in South Africa post-apartheid. So get back your land, register yourself on your Aboriginal name. Find out where your family is from and go claim your land. They cannot put you off the land, I promise you. They have no rights to put you off the land because we are Aboriginal people. And there's laws protecting us. Every year, at the UN, whoever's president of the Bantu speakers, the ANC, goes to the UN and says, oh no, the colored identity, because it is a US resolution that they are breaking. There's a US resolution that states that we are not colored and this identity must be dropped. So, let go of that colored identity. They cannot not take it. If you're on the land, I'm going to make a video soon of Aboriginal people, Bushmen, coloreds. I hate that word. But so that everybody understands what I'm talking about. They have taken land in Cape Town. They are now 300 people, including other Africans from other parts of Africa. And they can't do anything. They can't put them off the land because they are Aboriginal people. He can prove that he was on the land. All you have to do is be able to prove that you were on the land. Somebody was born there. Also do it quickly because they are changing the records. I'm at the archives at least once a week. I'm at the deeds at least twice a week. The deeds office recently moved. And again, records were lost and changed. Fortunately, I had photocopies of the original. And so I could show them that the information, the archive information at the deeds office has changed when they changed offices. Can you believe that? That is what they do, so do it quick. This is what the Bantus are doing here to help colonialists. Because they're not helping other Bantu speakers. Other Bantu speakers are, or the poorer Bantu speakers, shall I say that? Or shall I say, let me make the distinction. The Xhosa people specifically is getting a very raw deal here. I have to say. But alas, they choose to not be part of Africa. So yes, Israel and Canaan, we understand. We are them. We are the Israel. I'm not going to go into that today. That is a topic for a whole nother discussion. Right now, there's xenophobic attacks on other Africans. I just want to make it clear that it is racism. and that it is not all South Africans, it is not a South African problem. Please, you must make it clear that this is not a South African problem. That this indeed is a see how rich they are here in Constantia, my Aboriginal lands. And the white man and the Bantu protects them, ne? The Bantu protects these white people till the death. I've been put off land by Bantu speakers. I've been harassed by Bantu speakers for standing up for Africans and for myself as an African. It is not all of South Africa. It's not South Africa. Please, we must make it clear that it is the Bantu speakers that are the problem here with the xenophobic attacks. And this includes racism and xenophobia because they are also attacking Bushmen like myself. As a matter of fact, they still call me colored, a racial slur. That is why that poor child, Tyler, didn't know what the heck to say when they asked her, who is she? Because it's bad up in Joburg. There's more Bantu speakers there. The Western Cape is, we still have some autonomy over who we are and our identity. And because what happens is there is and this is happening in Namibia as well. I speak to the young children. Oh my goodness. They are from Kenya or they are from Tanzania. And then they are forced to become Oshivambu, which is also a Bantu speaking group in Namibia. And they come to me and they say to me, Osi, we are not Oshivambu. Like they want us to lose our identity completely. And these children are crying because they know they are not Oshivambu. They assimilate. They want us to assimilate and lose African identity completely. How crazy is that? How crazy is that? And we are ancient people in Southern Africa. We are the biggest Bushman nation in the world. Bushmen. We are the biggest Bushman nation in the world. We span 6 countries. We span the entire southern continent. The entire tip is just Bushmen. Swazi Gold says, the British created the ANC through the Mbekis. The ANC, when it started, it was a conglomerate of Africans, Bushmen, Bantus, Bushmen and Bantu speakers. By the time we got our freedom, so-called the abolishment of apartheid, so-called abolishment of apartheid, the ANC had completely broken away from the Bushmen, completely betraying us. Ask Busak, he was that time, in 94, 95, 96, 97, he was representing the Aboriginal people, the Bushman people. Ask Busak what happened. How the ANC betrayed Africans. How these Bantu speakers betrayed the Bushmen. Leaving us stuck. What happened to the UDF? Do you know SWAPO is... This is what they did, right? Namibia and South Africa was one country. South Africa, there was no such thing as Namibia. Namibia is 35 years old. Namibia, now so-called Namibia, fell under apartheid rules and laws. Then they put a border. What these Bantus do, they put a border. One side is SWAPO, so SWAPO is also a big party, Bantu speaking party, and the other side is the ANC. But before they were one, we were working together as one. UDF, SWAPO, ANC. There was a few. What happened to the UDF? Why was Winnie Mandela so ceremoniously escorted away from the what we would see the victory over the struggle? 1994 was created by Margaret Thatcher through Israel. Exactly. Swazi gold. This one is saying, it's it has always been, I understand what Swazi Gold is saying. It has always been the Israelis here in South Africa. The other day, somebody was talking to me about Donald Trump and the USA. I said, USA got nothing to do with us. The USA is not the problem here in Southern Africa. It is Europe that is the problem here in Southern Africa, specifically the Israelis. This land, specifically the entire Constantia, as a matter of fact, most of the Table Mountain area, all of the Table Mountain area is owned by Jews in South Africa, in Cape Town, Aboriginal lands. This mountain the entire mountain. And who protects them? The Bantus. They know. We've had land claims. If the land claims court, they've closed down for 15 years, these Bantu speakers, saying Aboriginal people can't claim land. And then the Bantu president comes out and says, well, pre-1914, you can't claim land. Government takes all that land, making way for Israel. Do you know how much land they've cordoned off in Cape Town in the last 5 years? Mountainous area. Making way for construction for Israelis to come and settle here. It's always been, we must not forget, these Ashkenazi Jews, they are not real Jews, let us get that straight. The Ashkenazi Jews, the Ashkenazi Europeans, consist of England, France, Spain, Netherlands, they are all over Russia, they are all over. These Rothschilds, these devil worshippers, these Epstein people, they're not even people. But it's always been the thing that is happening now. We know what has happened. The thing that is happening now is the Bantu speakers, the ANC and the Bantu speakers are protecting this colonial force, are protecting the satanic force. They're protecting the satanic force. The UDF, just read here. Bantus don't own land either. No, you don't own land. You don't own land, but neither can you claim land. That's the thing. We don't own land, but we can claim land. We can prove that we were here. We can prove that we were put off the land. That is the difference between a Bantu speaker and a Bushman. You can't claim any land. You can just claim Transkei. We're Aboriginal people, Bushmen, coloureds as you call us, you terrible people for calling us that word, that identity still. and then make gaslighting the whole world into believing that we wish to be called this word? Devils? Serpent tongues? I can go now, right where I'm standing. I can prove to you that my family's been here for generations. You can't do that. That is why you can't take the land. We can take the land, and we are taking the land. We are taking the land. US Marines on Busenberg Beach. Yes! Huh? Bantu speakers, what the hell are you doing? What are you doing? US Marine, and you know Musenberg, this is what's so, because they don't know our history. Bantu speakers don't know Southern African history, right? Musenberg was the second biggest fight happened between Aboriginal people and Portuguese and Europeans. That was the second biggest battle, and we defeated them. We kept on defeating them until the Bantus came in that slave ships. We kept on defeating them. Oshimoa was defeating them. Odusoa defeating them. Odumoa defeating them. But it was when the Bantu speakers came, so-called Bantu speakers came off the ships. We don't kill Africans. We don't murder our own. It gave them some sort of protection. Also, the Bantu speakers worked on their farms, and we didn't want to work on their farms, which made it easier for them. But Jan van Riebeeck wrote in his diaries, we need these slaves to come and help us, because these natives, these bushmen, they don't want to help us. So bring us slaves so that we can work the land, or the colony will fail. It wasn't even supposed to be a colony, but no, alas, they just take devils. Swazi, ek sê jy praat om diere dinge hier, né? We know what is happening. Africa needs to see what is happening. Southern African can imagine we push all our resources into Africa and not into anywhere else. Do you think the Aboriginal Americans would worry if we don't send them fruits and gold and diamonds? Do you think they'll worry? Do you think the Aboriginal Australians will worry if we don't send them fruits and food and diamonds and minerals and things? The only people that will worry are the Europeans. Aboriginal people know how to survive on the Aboriginal lands. And we don't exploit, and we don't take too much, because we live on the land and we are for the land, and the land is us and we are the land. They exploit because they are not of the land. That is what makes me doubt these Bantu speakers, if they are indeed African. Because how can you do that as an African? How can you exploit? How can you oppress? How can you put your brother out of his house? How do you do that as an African? Maybe I'm not, I don't know, I've never heard of such a thing. We know it is Eden. We know it is Eden. But we are on a continent. I have driven from South Africa into Malawi, never having to being on land, which means we are connected. But yes, this is Eden. You can see, that is why I came here to Constantia, so that people can see what lands look like, where we come from. This is Eden. This is our cemetery right there. My grandfather built the cemetery. Um, he built the prayer room there, the mosque. He built it. Um, he's also buried here. So is his mother. So is his grandmother. There's generations of us laying down here. And right now, Bantu speakers, I can prove. That's why I say I can prove that I am from the land, that I am of the land, that I am the land. Our family home has been made into a national heritage site. But they refuse to allow the inheritors to live on the land. How crazy is that? I say, Avogari, I say, Hore. I greet you with the utmost respect as a Aboriginal Southern African, Bushman descent. I am who I am because I am Bushman. So I give reverence to the Great Spirit, to our Great Mother, for putting me in this vessel. I wish for all of us Africans to unite. Yes, we have problems, but it is inflated by skin folk who are not kinfolk, making us look like we cannot or we don't have control over who we are and what we are and what we're doing. I wish for that to change. So I greet you with the utmost respect and with the utmost love, and know that you are welcome. Know that all Africans are welcome. We are in Africa. You are welcome. You're welcome. I must say, Kai Gangans, thank you everybody who tuned in. Thank you everybody who commented. We're going to get this right. Somehow, some way. We're going to get this right. I know that. This year.